Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Sir LAWAGUE. We are the Group 10, and I am Poby Marquez, and my group members are Glaze Maybano, Crystal Manozo, Sheena-Mae. And the topic assigned to us is about Lesson 3, the Global Demography and Migration. So, learning outcomes at the end of this lesson, you are expected to first, we will identify the effects of aging and overpopulation. Second is we will explain the demographic transition as it affects global population. And the third one is discuss the effect of global migration on the economic well-being of states. And lastly, we will recognize the reason for the migration people. So the topic assigned to me is about demography. So what is demography? The word demography comes from the ancient Greek word which is demos, meaning the people, and the second one is the graphy, meaning writing about the people. So demography is about the people, their births, their age, deaths, and so on. So I will elaborate that. So demography is the study of statistics such as birth, deaths, income, or the incidence of disease which illustrate the changing structure of human population. So demography is about the study of human population, also kung ilan na yung tao dito sa ating bansa. Also demography will know the economic growth and social development. Demography provides information about the people age, birth, date, gender, marital status, income, education, and employment, and so on. So, demography is the one collect the data or information about the different population. So also demography help us or help the government gather mainly through government censuses and government registries of births and deaths. Kung ilan yung namamatay or um, or nabubuhay or pinapanganak ngayon araw. So to know this, they do some interview, surveys, polls, online services, survey, and yun nga, consensus na nagbabahay-bahay yung mga tao sa government upang malaman nila or the information about the ilan yung tao sa isang family or isang population. So, demography is not about controlling the economic growth or human population, but demography is they are certainly a key determinant for an economic growth potential. So, habang lumalaki yung population natin, yung demography is the one who will kung ano yung mga potential ng bawat tao, kung ano yung matutulong nila in the one city or the one country, or ano yung pwedeng makuha nila about sa isang bansa. So, last is demographic information can be used to create successful marketing campaigns, economic analysis, and government policies. So, also here in the Philippines, we are all know that we are democracy and we are voting. By the demography, we will know how many people are voters or votante here in the Philippines. Next one is about I also demography pala, I will add habang lumalaki yung population, we will add the mga ginagamit natin sa environment that affects our environment like air pollution, water pollution, the more we use mga natures like mga trees, the more na nasisira. But we can do ways or alternative ways, right? And also poverty because of the demography survey, we will know na marami na rin naghihirap na tao here in the Philippines. And next is global demography. So, a central component of societal context and societal change. So, the global demography is about the societal change, or one of the component is societal context. It's about study of the worldwide population rather than the population of a specific country, region, or city. So, global demography is not about the certain city or the particular city, like for example, here in the Philippines. It's not about Philippines lang, but worldwide, buong mundo or buong mundo. Yan. So, based on my survey, or based on my research, we have 8 billion people here in world, based on Worldometer. Yan, that is the latest global demography. So, also, global demography is useful because it provides the big picture of the entire human population. So, makikita yun kung ilan yung tao sa buong mundo, kumbaga kung paano nila makokontrol yun. Yan. It provides data about the past, present, and future human society as a whole. Hindi lang siya about the present population, but also the past and the future. Kumbaga, they use the global demography to estimate what will happen soon or in the future. Um, yun nga, like I said, they use it for basing, for comparison to the past and to future. Ginagamit din nila yung global demography para malaman nila kung lumago ba or mas dumami pa yung tao sa mundo, or nabawasan ba, or pagdating sa future, ano ba yung mangyayari, yan, or mas madadagdagan pa. Yung problem natin today is masosolusyon na natin pagdating ng araw, or for the challenges of the tomorrow, because we will know what is the population today. So, from the world economy and societal policy to city planning and climate change. Yon, yung global demography, makakatulong din siya for the world economy and social policy to city planning. Pag dumadami, syempre, mas marami na tayong kailangan, di ba? Bahay or mga needs and wants ng mga tao. Also, the global demography shaping the future social landscape. Like I said kanina, na magagamit natin siya in the future. Kasi parang nai-estimate na natin, kumbaga, or kasi based on my research, sa isang segundo daw, 4 birds yung nabubuhay and 2 tao lang yung namamatay. So, mas lamang talaga yung nadadagdag kesa yung nababawas. So, and also, it is very useful for understanding social and economic problems and identifying potential resolution. So, yun, kung ano yung kakulangan natin right now, syempre habang nadadagdagan yung tao, ayun din yung makakatulong soon. Next is youth population is mostly affected by the societal change. Bakit nga ba yung mga youth people or youth population? Because we are on the generation which is high-tech or industrial revolution. Kumbaga, marami na tayong mas nalalaman or na nagagamit na mga bagay para mag-improve, like mga gadgets or mga technology right now. Also, yung youth people, like for example, yung LGBT lang ngayon, nadagdagan na sila, which is the LGBTQIA+. Also, nakikita rin natin yun sa ibang bansa na na-approve na yung mga law nila about dun sa LGBTQ, and yun nga yung mga behavior patterns, kumbaga na-adapt ng ibang tao. Like for example, yung Philippines and the Americans or US, na-adapt natin yung culture because nakikipag-interact din tayo to the other country. Yun nga, nagiging nanonormalize na natin yung mga bagay-bagay ngayon, yung mga new language, yan. Next one is demography is allow us to imagine and reimagine the future. Yun nga, katulad ng global demography is the one can help us kung ano yung mangyayari sa future pag mas nadagdagan pa yung mga human population. Share ko lang yung based on my research about the China. Nagkaroon sila ng law about sa one-child policy because they cannot control the human population and they want to imbalance or to balance the population. So, by that, ayun yung naisip nila na solution para mas makonti daw yung or mas mabawasan yung population nila sa China. But it ended noong year 2016. Next is demographers. Study population to determine their size and composition and to predict how they are like to change in years to come. So, etong demographers, they are the person who specialize in the study of vital and social statistics. They are the one study how human population behaves and factors that affects their well-being. So, sila yung nag-iisip ng mga alternative ways or mga solution kapag dumami yung mga tao or yung mga behavior na nag-changes. Kunyari, for example, sa education, dati ang ginagamit natin is mga libro. Ngayon, mas more on ginagamit na natin is mga gadgets or mga other technologies na nagbabago. Or, yun nga. Another is study data to determine the causes and consequences of changes in the characteristic of human population. Sila yung mga, kumbaga sila yung mga pinag-aralan or specialize nila yung about dito, yung sa mga demography. And lastly is demography is for example here in Davao, nagkakandak sila ng interview or consensus para malaman nila yung population sa isang tao or mga edad population sa isang bahay or isang family. So ayun lang. Next one is lastly pala, demographers, they make observation about the cause and effects of population changes such as increase in birth rates or immigration. So, yun nga yung, like for example, yung sa China nga na naisip nila yung one-child policy para makontrol. And, yun. Or another idea para hindi masyadong masira yung environment or magamit pa to ng next generation. So, next reporter is Glaze My Boy.
And now, let's proceed to global demographic trends and patterns. Such passed and expected, which was just over 2 billion in 1950, today stands at 6.5 billion. At present, the planet is adding new inhabitants that rate of 76 billion people annually. Although this development is slowing down, middle ground estimate indicate is that by 2050, the planet will have a population of 9.1 billion with growth of approximately 34 million per year. So we have also here the periods of overpopulation. So what does this mean? It is excessive population of an area to the point of overcrowding. So of course, kapag nagkakaroon ng overpopulation, nagkakaroon ng kapanganiban, no? And we have also here the causes of population. First, we have the improvement in science and technology. So yung pag-improve ng mga teknolohiya ngayon. And the second one is the public health and the hygiene. And the third one is the good distribution in food and security. And we have also here the main problems of overpopulation. First, we have the poverty. So of course, ito talaga yung pinakaunang problema ngayon no, na kinakaharap ng mga tao. Dahil sa overpopulation, nagkakaroon ng kahirapan. And the second one is the pollution. Sa overpopulation, pagkakaroon ng overpopulation, nagkakaroon ng pollution. At sa pagkakaroon ng pollution, nagkakasakit yung mga tao. And that is the one of the main problem of that overpopulation. And the third one is the crime. Dahil sa kakulangan, dahil sa wala ng pera yung mga tao, dahil sa kahirapan, natuto na itong mga tao na magnakaw. Kasi wala na silang choice, wala silang trabaho. And the fourth one is the economic problems. Dahil sa ekonomiya, no? Dahil sa yung mga tao is wala ng trabaho, kaya yun, wala na silang ginawa kundi magnakaw. And that's the main problems of overpopulation. So alam naman natin na hindi talaga maiiwasan itong overpopulation na madaming mga problema, no? Yung mga sali kung bakit may overpopulation. And we have here the solution. So meron itong solution para maiwasan natin yung ganyang issue na nangyayari sa paligid natin. We have here, the education is the best solution. So ito talaga yung pinakaunang sandata. It is the most powerful. Kasi kapag may kaalaman ka, alam mo kung ano yung tama at mali. Just like yung issue na nangyayari sa atin ngayon, yung teenage pregnancy. Kaya nagkakaroon ng overpopulation because of the teenage pregnancy. Kasi hindi sila gumagamit ng control. Hindi nila alam na meron palang mga ganyan. Kaya before sila mag-engage into sex, dapat alam nila, no, para maiwasan natin yung overpopulation. And we have also here the creating awareness. Pwede din tayo mag-post sa social media na ganito, ganyan, na before ka mag-engage into sex, kailangan mag-control ka, ganun, para maiwasan yung overpopulation. And family planning. Yun talaga din yung dahilan, no, kasi kulang sila sa ng pamilya. Yung pariwara na yung mga anak nila, kaya nagre-repente, kaya wala na silang alam kundi gumawa ng mga bagay na hindi maganda. And more.
Let's proceed to my topic, entitled It is the Economy, Not the Baby. So, there are opponents of the use of population control to prevent economic crisis. For example, Betsy Hartman, who disagree the neo-Malthusian theory by Thomas Malthus, who advocate of human population control. Theory advocates an accused government of using population control as a substitute for social justice. And much needed reforms such land distribution, employment creation, provision of mass education and healthcare, and also emancipation. In neo-Malthusian theory, it specifically talks about the food supply and population growth. According to Malthus, the food supply increases in arithmetic rates, while the population growth increases in geometric rates. So, the population growth is increasing more rapidly than the food supply because food supply increases in constant rate. And according to Malthus, to control the economic crisis and population growth, we need to use the contraception or a birth control, especially those people who suffers in poverty. They are the one who are important to use a birth control for them to avoid the population growth, according to him. But Betsy Hartman argued that the real solution to the population problem lies not in coercive population control programs, but in the improvement of living standard, the position of women in the society, and the quality of health and family planning service. And it is not fair daw from US government to be imposing the health bill because they're trying to control population. It is a substitute for social justice, and they avoid land reform distribution, the employment creation. Parang iniiwasan nila ang kanilang responsibility, which is they imposing that health bill. And in 1960 naman, may iba na nagpo-pointed out na yes, population did grow fast in many countries. Pero yung growth rate naman is, it's aided in economy. Let's say, for example, China. As we can see, China is or have a big population. And because of that, they had a lot of laborers. And because they have a lot of laborers, many investors ang pumupunta sa China para to have the people there create their products because their labor is cheap. Kasi halos naman, makikita naman natin na halos lahat ng bagay, or especially gadgets or charger, may nakalagay naman in China dahil doon ginagawa. And so, in that way, it made the economy of China grow because of their population, because of their big population, and because of they have lots of laborers. That is why they pointed out that it is the economy, not the baby.
I will proceed to my topic, which is immigration. When it's immigration, it talks about the movement of people from one area to another with intentions of settling permanently at a new location. Now, here are the two types of migration. First is the internal migration, which it refers to people who moves from one place to another in just a specific country. For example, people from or an individual from rural transferred or move into an urban places because in urban there are way more better opportunities for them. Now, we proceed to international migration. International migration, people cross borders from one country to another. Going to internal migration is people move from one place to another in a specific country. International migration, people cross borders from one country to another. For example, those OFWs to move from the Philippines to United States to work and earn living. So we also have the five categories of international borders. First is the immigrants. Immigrants refers to a person or group of people that chooses to live in another country or another country to take up permanent residence. For example, diba, there are Filipinos or OFWs in particular na mas pinipili na nilang mag-stay sa other country kasi doon mas malaki yung kita, mas maganda yung opportunities compared to here in the Philippines. So that's why they chooses to get a permanent residence there. There are also instances wherein nagkakapag-asawa na yung iba, so they choose to have a permanent residence in bansa kasi dito sa Pilipinas. Now, we also have workers who stay in another country for a fixed period. Example for this is the OFWs, right? OFWs are settled. Kumbaga, meron silang contract. For example, merong 1 year, so 1 year lang sila mag-stay in that particular country. And after that, babalik ulit sila sa Philippines. Ganun yung process. Ganun yung process for the workers who stay in another country for a fixed period. Kumbaga, may contract sila kung kailan dapat sila magstay lang doon sa isang country. Next is we have the illegal migrants. Foreign-born people who does not possess a valid visa or other immigration documentations because they entered a specific country without inspection. So, ito yung mga workers na hindi na dumadaan sa agencies, hindi na sila nagpa-process ng kanilang visa. Kumbaga, meron silang backer tawag, diba, na nagre-recruit sa kanila ito another country para pumunta sila doon. So, tinatawag na illegal kasi hindi na sila dumadaan sa inspections and everything. Kasi diba meron tayong tinatawag na immigration office kung saan doon pinaprocess lahat para for the workers to be able to go to another country. You know, that's the process. That's the meaning of the illegal migrants. The migrants' families have petitioned them to move to the destination countries. Diba, kung yung isang relative is nasa US, may chance na gusto nilang kunin yung nasa Philippines para to work, to travel around in that particular country. So that's the process known as asylum seekers is the last one sa international migration. For example, diba, sabi, someone who is unable to return to their country. So yung mga tao na hindi na sila maaaring makauwi, baka balik pa sa kanilang country. Because there is a fear, they have that fear na baka masali sila sa conflict na meron sa country nila. For example, diba, sa Ukraine and the Russia, people there chooses to live into another country kasi nga natatakot na sila sa kahinatan na ng bansa nila. And then those people rin, meron din yung unwillingly to return to their country, yung hindi na talaga nila gusto na bumalik pa sa kanilang country because of conflicts, problems in their country. So they chooses to stay in another country for a better life, for better work, for better living. So, next is we have the effects of migration on the economy. First is it lowers poverty rates. Of course, kapag yung mga sa isang family, for example, maka-benefit na yung naiwang pamilya kasi meron ng trabaho yung isang member ng family nila dun sa ibang bansa. Although hindi naman agad-agaran na mawawala sila sa poverty, but at least they have that budget na maaaring nakatulong sa kanila in terms of their needs. So, in that case, in that way, maaaring mabawasan yung poverty rates sa Pinas. We had higher overall productivity in destination economies. So people comes here in the Philippines to tour around. So with that, yung mga travels, yung tataas yung income ng mga workers sa isang specific tourist attraction or destination kasi maraming tourists. So magkakaroon sila ng trabaho and they will be having better opportunities kasi yun nga, maraming workers na pupunta. I mean, migrants na pupunta sa Philippines to tour. Next is it improves the economic and social status of refugees. Kasi tulad na sabi ko kanina, it helps to lower poverty rates. Kasi you're familiar with the remittances, right? Yun yung mga yun yung pera na binibigay ng OFW sa family nila. Sa family nila para magkaroon sila ng income, magkaroon sila ng budget para sa pangangailangan nila. Lastly, we have contribute significantly to the growth of small and medium-term industries that help generate jobs. Chooses to move to another country, so makaka-benefit din kasi sila nagpa-process ng documents of workers para makapunta sa ibang bansa. Makakatulong sa kanila kasi they will also benefit from that. That's all for my report. Thank you for listening to our topic.